Chosen one, anchor your mind right here. Do not look away. That awkward silence you feel when you walk into a room is not social anxiety. That heavy sensation of strangers staring at you and saying nothing is not because you are weird. I know a voice in your head is asking right now, is something wrong with my face? Listen closely. There is nothing wrong with you, but there is something terrifying happening in the spirit realm. They are not staring at you because you do not fit in. They are freezing because the demons inside of them have just recognized the authority inside of you. You are not experiencing social anxiety. You are causing a spiritual glitch in their reality. And today, we are going to decode exactly what they are seeing. I know the feeling intimately. You are standing in the checkout line at the grocery store, just trying to buy your food and leave. You reach for your wallet, and suddenly, the air changes. You feel a heat prickling on the back of your neck. It feels like a physical weight pressing between your shoulder blades. You freeze. Your hand tightens around your wallet. You do not want to look up because you can feel their eyes burning into the side of your face. You pretend to check your phone. You adjust your shirt. You try to shrink, to make yourself smaller, hoping the sensation will stop, but it does not stop. The silence gets louder, and when you finally work up the courage to glance over, you see them. Total strangers, locking eyes with you, staring with an intensity that feels aggressive, almost predatory. They do not smile. They do not say hello. They just stare until you look away. Before we go any further into this diagnosis, I need you to commit to staying with me until the very end of this message. Because what we are about to unravel is not just an explanation, it is a survival guide. By the time we finish, I am going to hand you the Glory Glitch Protocol. You will learn the 3 specific forms of the gaze, so you never misread a situation again. We will do the shadow work to remove the shame you have carried for years, and at the end, we will perform an activation ceremony to shift your posture from a victim who hides to a ruler who reigns. Do not rob yourself of that breakthrough. Stay locked in. For years, you have told yourself a lie about this phenomenon. You convinced yourself that you are just socially awkward. You diagnosed yourself with social anxiety or the spotlight effect. You go home and analyze your appearance in the mirror. You think, maybe my outfit is too loud. Maybe I walk funny. Maybe I have something on my face. You tell yourself that you are just projecting your own insecurities onto other people. You think that because you feel nervous internally, you are imagining their stares externally. It is a logical explanation. It makes sense to the rational mind. It feels safer to believe that the problem is in your head, because if the problem is in your head, you can fix it. You can take a pill, you can go to therapy, you can learn confidence tricks. But if it is just social anxiety, if it is just your own insecurity projecting outward, then explain this to me. Why do babies stare at you? Why do animals freeze when you walk by? Think about it. A baby does not know about your insecurities. A dog does not care about your outfit. Yet, you have walked into a room and had a crying baby stop instantly and stare at you with wide, unblinking eyes. You have walked down the street and had dogs stop barking and just watch you pass. Anxiety is internal. Their reaction is external. If the most innocent and instinctual beings on this planet are reacting to your presence, then this is not in your head. There is a terrifying truth behind this, and it has nothing to do with psychology. Let us go deeper into this anomaly, because the behavior of children and animals is the key that unlocks this mystery. You see, a baby has not yet been programmed by society. They do not care about social norms, expensive clothes, or physical beauty. They operate entirely on spiritual instinct. They see energy before they see matter. So when a baby locks eyes with you in a supermarket and refuses to look away, they are not looking at your physical face. They are looking at the light emanating from your spirit. Have you ever noticed that some children smile uncontrollably when they see you, while others scream and cry instantly? This has confused you for years. You wondered if you had a scary face. But here is the truth. It is about frequency alignment. The children who smile possess a spirit that recognizes your light and feels safe. The children who scream often come from environments heavy with dysfunction or darkness, and your light is so bright that it physically hurts their unadjusted spiritual eyes. It is a shock to their system. They are reacting to the sheer voltage of your presence. So, chosen one, I need you to receive this liberation right now. Take a breath and let this sink into your marrow. You do not have social anxiety. You do not have a confidence problem. You are suffering from glory overload. That is the diagnosis. For years you have been trying to fix a spiritual phenomenon with psychological tools. You have been trying to cure your awkwardness by learning how to make small talk, or how to dress better, or how to blend in. But you cannot fix this because it is not broken. You are trying to dim a light that God Himself turned on. The reason you feel so exhausted in public is not because you are introverted. It is because you are suppressing a nuclear reactor of glory inside a human vessel, trying to act like a normal person when you are anything but normal. Think about the relief of knowing that you are not crazy. You are not weird. You are just spiritually heavy. This brings us to the science of what is happening in that room. In the Hebrew language, the word for glory is kavod. But kavod does not just mean light or beauty. The literal translation of kavod is weight, heavy weight, substance. When you carry the glory of God, you are not just carrying a brightness, you are carrying a spiritual mass. When you walk into a room, you displace the spiritual atmosphere just like a rock displaces water in a bucket. The people around you, even the ones who are spiritually dead, feel this pressure. They stop talking because the air suddenly feels thicker. They stare at you because their spirit feels a weight pressing on their chest, and they are looking for the source of that pressure. They are not judging your outfit. They are trying to understand why the atmosphere just got so heavy. This is not just a theory I am making up to make you feel better. This is a documented historical phenomenon. Thousands of years ago, there was a man who had to deal with this exact problem. It got so bad that he actually had to wear a veil over his face just to walk around his own people because his face was doing exactly what yours is doing. The reaction he got from the crowd was terror. And what happened to his face is the exact blueprint for what is happening to you right now. Let us open the ancient scrolls to the book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 29. This is the moment that explains your entire life. Scripture says that when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken with the Lord. Now, most people read that verse and they imagine a soft, gentle glow, like a candle flickering in the dark or a halo in a medieval painting. They think of something peaceful, something that draws people in with a warm invitation. But if you read the original Hebrew text, you discover that what happened to Moses was violent, terrifying, and overwhelming. The Hebrew word used to describe the condition of his face is karan. I want you to write that word on the tablet of your mind. Karan. It is a strange, powerful word. In Hebrew, it shares a root with the word keren, which literally means a horn. This is why, for centuries, artists like Michelangelo sculpted Moses with actual horns growing out of his head. They misunderstood the text. But the linguistic connection is not a mistake. A horn is a weapon. A horn is a symbol of power. A horn pushes things out of the way. So when the Bible says Moses' face was Karen, it means his face was not just glowing, it was shooting forth beams of light that were as solid and piercing as horns. It was projecting a tangible force. It was an aggressive, penetrating radiance that did not just sit on his skin, but invaded the space around him. Think about the physics of this for a moment. Moses had spent 40 days and 40 nights inside the cloud of God's glory. He had been fasting. He had been stripped of everything earthly. He was absorbing the raw, unfiltered radiation of heaven. His physical cells were being rewritten. His DNA was being saturated with a frequency that is not of this earth. So when he came down the mountain, he was essentially a radioactive containment vessel that was leaking. He was walking uranium. The light coming off him was not soft, it was heavy. It was the kavod we spoke about. It was a light that occupied space, a light that had mass, a light that demanded attention. And this brings us to the reaction of the people, which is exactly the reaction you are getting today. Verse 30 says that when Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, his face was radiant, and they were afraid to come near him. I want you to zoom into that moment with me. Imagine the scene. The camp of Israel is dusty, noisy, filled with the smell of livestock and the murmur of thousands of people. They are living in a low frequency. They have just committed a great sin with the golden calf. Their spirits are dull. Their consciences are guilty. And suddenly, they look up toward the mountain. They see a figure descending through the heat haze. As Moses gets closer, the atmosphere in the camp begins to shift. The chatter stops. The animals go silent. A wave of unease ripples through the crowd. Aaron, his own brother, steps forward to greet him. But he stops dead in his tracks. He flinches. He puts his hand up to shield his eyes, not just from the brightness, but from the intensity. Imagine the dialogue in that moment. Aaron does not run up and hug Moses. He backs away. He stumbles. He yells out, "Moses, stop! Do not come any closer. Cover yourself. We cannot look at you. It hurts." Imagine the confusion in Moses' heart. He does not know he is shining. He just spent 40 days in pure love and truth. He thinks he is bringing them a gift. He is holding the tablets of the law, the very words of God. He wants to share what he has seen. But the people he loves, the people he led out of Egypt, are looking at him like he is a monster. They are terrified. They are recoiling. They are trembling. Why were they afraid? This is the key to your diagnosis. They were afraid because his light exposed their darkness without him saying a single word. You see, light is information. Light is truth. When that intense, concentrated Karen light hit their faces, it instantly revealed every hidden sin, every secret thought, every impurity in their souls. They felt naked before him. They felt judged, not because Moses was judging them, but because his presence acted as a standard of holiness that made their unholiness unbearable. They could not stand to be near him, because to be near him was to be confronted with everything they were trying to hide. The glitch they experienced was a moral glitch. Their systems could not process the purity of the signal he was broadcasting. So, Moses had to do something heartbreaking. Scripture says he put a veil over his face. He had to dim his light just to have a conversation with his own brother. He had to hide the glory of God just to make the people around him comfortable. He had to suppress his true nature to maintain his relationships. Does that sound familiar, chosen one? How many times have you put on a veil? How many times have you dumbed yourself down, stayed quiet when you knew the answer, or pretended to be confused just so you would not intimidate the people around you? You walk into work and you feel the need to shrink because your boss gets insecure when you operate at full capacity. You go to a family gathering and you sit in the corner and talk about the weather, because if you spoke about what is really on your mind, the realities of the spirit and the kingdom, they would look at you like you were insane. You have been wearing a spiritual veil for years, trying to manage the Quran that is shooting out of your spirit. But here is the difference between you and Moses. Moses put the veil on his physical face. You cannot veil your spirit. In the new covenant, the glory is not just on the skin, it is internal. It is Christ in you, the hope of glory. It is in your eyes, it is in your voice, it is in your walk. You can wear baggy clothes, you can wear no makeup, you can look at the floor, but you cannot hide the beam. That is why the strategy of hiding has never worked for you. You try to be invisible, but the more you try to hide, the more they stare. You try to be quiet, but your silence screams louder than their noise. You are a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. When you walk into that grocery store, you are Moses coming down the mountain. You may not have just spent 40 days on Sinai, but you have spent years in the wilderness. You have been through the fire. You have been crushed, pressed, and isolated. You have spent nights crying out to God when no one else was watching. You have absorbed His nature through your suffering. Your pain was the mountain. Your isolation was the cloud. And now you carry a weight of glory that is incompatible with the trivial, surface-level frequency of the world. So when that stranger stops in the aisle and stares at you with a slack jaw and wide eyes, do not internalize it as rejection. Recognize it as the Moses effect. Their spirit is flinching. Their demons are trembling. Their subconscious is screaming, "Do not come closer, you are exposing me." They are feeling the pressure of your kavod. They are seeing the beams of your Quran. It is not that you are weird. It is that you are walking judgment to their darkness and walking hope to their spirit, all at the same time. You are a walking, breathing, living encounter with the divine, and they do not have the spiritual capacity to process the data you are transmitting. But listen to me very carefully, because we are approaching a dangerous turn in this revelation. The reaction of the Israelites was fear, yes, but it was a reverent fear. They knew Moses was from God. They respected the light, even if they could not handle it. But you do not live in the camp of Israel. You live in a world that is under the sway of the wicked one. And that means not everyone who stares at you is reacting with reverence. Not everyone is simply overwhelmed or confused. There is another group of people, a specific demographic in the spirit realm. When they look at you, they do not feel fear, they feel hatred. They do not want to cover their eyes, they want to poke yours out. They are not retreating, they are tracking you. And the reason they are staring is not because they are stunned by your beauty, but because they have identified you as a target. This is where the glitch stops being a social awkwardness and starts being a spiritual war. To understand the true nature of this warfare, I want to take you out of the abstract and into the concrete. I want to tell you about a chosen one named Sarah. I am changing her name for her protection, but her story is your story. Sarah is someone who carries a high-ranking mantle of intercession, but for years she lived in a state of constant apology. She walked with her shoulders hunched. She wore neutral colors. She spoke softly. Her entire strategy for survival was to be invisible. She thought if she could just dim her light enough, the world would leave her alone. One Tuesday morning, Sarah walked into a coffee shop in the middle of the city. I want you to visualize this place. It is the peak of the morning rush. The air is thick with the smell of roasted beans and burnt sugar. The soundscape is a chaotic symphony of life. You hear the aggressive hiss of the espresso machine steaming milk. You hear the clatter of ceramic mugs hitting saucers. You hear the low hum of a dozen overlapping conversations about business, politics, and the weather. The energy is frantic, busy, and completely normal. Sarah opens the door. The little bell above the door chimes, and in that precise second, the atmosphere snaps. It does not happen gradually. It happens instantly. It is as if someone pulled the plug on the audio system of reality. The conversations closest to the door die out mid-sentence. The barista, who was laughing with a customer, stops laughing and looks up. A woman in the corner, typing furiously on her laptop, pauses her hands over the keys and turns her head. Within 3 seconds, half the room is looking at Sarah. But here is the terrifying part. They are not smiling. They are not looking at her with curiosity, wondering if they know her. They are staring with a cold, dead, unblinking intensity. It is the look of a predator assessing a threat. Sarah freezes. Her heart hammers against her ribs like a trapped bird. Her mind immediately begins the frantic audit of insecurity. She thinks, "Did I trip? Is my shirt on inside out? Do I have something on my face?" She looks down at her shoes. She tries to make herself smaller. She hurries to the counter, orders a black coffee, and tries to retreat to a table in the back. But as she walks through the room, the eyes follow her. They track her like security cameras. She can feel the hostility radiating off them like heat from a pavement. It is thick, it is tangible, it is suffocating. She sits down, opens her book, and tries to hide behind it, but she can't concentrate. The air around her feels heavy, charged with a static electricity that makes the hair on her arms stand up. She drinks her coffee in 2 minutes and leaves, shaking, telling herself she is just paranoid, telling herself she needs to get back on her anxiety medication. But Sarah was not paranoid, and neither are you. Sarah was experiencing a spiritual collision. She walked into a low-frequency environment, carrying a high-frequency authority. And the reaction she got was not social awkwardness. It was a demonic alert system going off. This brings us to the twist, the dark truth that changes everything. You have spent your whole life asking, why do they look at me like that? Why do they hate me when they don't even know me? Listen to me. They do not hate you. The human being behind those eyes does not even know who you are. The human being is likely confused, wondering why they suddenly feel compelled to stare. The human being is just a vessel. The stare is not coming from the person. The stare is coming from the entity that is influencing the person. This is the revelation that will set you free from the fear of man. They are not looking at you. The spirit that is occupying their vessel is looking at the spirit that is occupying your vessel. It is a recognition of rank. You see, the spirit realm is hierarchical. It operates on authority, not personality. When you walk into a room, you are not just a person with a name and a job. You are a mobile temple of the Holy Spirit. You are an ambassador of the kingdom of light. And, whether you realize it or not, you carry spiritual weaponry. You carry the blood of the Lamb. You carry the testimony of your survival. To a human, you look like a normal person. But to a demonic entity, you look like a walking eviction notice. When that stranger in the coffee shop locked eyes with Sarah, the entity inside that stranger hijacked their optical nerves to assess the threat level. That is why the stare feels so cold. It feels cold because it is devoid of humanity. For that brief moment, the human soul is pushed to the back seat, and something ancient, something dark, something reptilian is looking through the windows of their eyes. It is scanning your spiritual IP address. It is checking your authority level. It is trying to determine if you are awake or asleep. If you are asleep, if you do not know who you are, it will try to intimidate you. It will use the stare to make you shrink, to make you fearful, to make you agree with the lie that you are weak. Because if you are fearful, you are neutralized. But if you are awake, if you know who you are, that stare is not an attack, it is a flinch. It is the darkness bracing for impact. This is not a new phenomenon. This pattern is woven into the very fabric of the biblical narrative. If you want proof, look at Matthew chapter 8, verse 29. This is one of the most revealing encounters in the entire ministry of Jesus, and it exposes exactly what is happening to you in the grocery store. Jesus arrives in the region of the Gadarenes. He steps off the boat. He has not preached a sermon yet. He has not healed anyone in that region yet. He has not announced who he is. He is just walking. A man comes out of the tombs. This man is possessed, wild, violent, uncontrollable. The people of the town are terrified of him. But watch what happens when this man sees Jesus. The man does not ask, "Who are you?" The man does not say, "Hello." The text says the demons inside the man screamed out. They cried out, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Do not miss the magnitude of this. At this point in history, the religious leaders did not know Jesus was the Son of God. The scribes were still debating him. Even his own disciples were confused, constantly asking, "What manner of man is this?" The humans were blind, but the demons? The demons knew instantly. They recognized his identity before the high priests did. They recognized his authority before the crowds did. And most importantly, they recognized his timeline. They asked, "Have you come to torment us before the time?" They knew their end. They knew he was the judge, and they knew that his mere presence was a precursor to their judgment. This is the biblical precedent for your life. As he is, so are you in this world. You are a little Christ. You are a carrier of the same anointing. You are indwelt by the same Spirit. So why are you surprised when the demons in your city react to you the same way they reacted to him? When you walk into that office, or that classroom, or that store, you are Jesus stepping off the boat in Gadara. You haven't opened your mouth yet. You haven't quoted a scripture yet. But the entities in that region scream out. They may not scream with audible voices, but they scream with their eyes. They scream with that sudden, aggressive silence. They scream with that heavy stare. They are asking you the same question. Have you come to torment us? Are you here to expose us? Do you know who you are? The stare is their confession. It is their involuntary admission that you are superior in rank. If you were powerless, they would ignore you. If you were just like them, they would not even notice you. The enemy does not monitor empty warehouses. He monitors the vault. The fact that you are being tracked by these eyes is the greatest validation of your spiritual net worth. You are not a victim of social bullying. You are a threat to spiritual darkness. So, the next time you feel that heat on the back of your neck, the next time the room goes silent, do not check your clothes. Do not fix your hair. Do not apologize for your existence. Instead, I want you to shift your internal posture. I want you to realize that you have just walked into enemy territory and the alarms have gone off. The demons are not staring because you are ugly. They are staring because you are glowing with a frequency that burns them. But here is the danger. We have established the why. We know it is the glory glitch. We know it is demon recognition. But knowing the why is not enough to keep you safe. You need to know the what. You need to know how to interpret the specific data coming from their eyes. Because not every stare is the same. Not every glitch is an attack. There are 3 specific categories of the gaze. 3 distinct forms of the glitch that you will encounter in the wild. I call them the hiss, the moth, and the error. Most chosen ones mix these up. They mistake the moth for the hiss and attack someone who needs help. Or they mistake the hiss for the error and lower their guard when they should be raising their shields. If you misdiagnose the eyes looking at you, you will respond with the wrong spiritual weapon. and that can cause unnecessary warfare. You need the field manual. You need to know exactly which glitch is which, how to spot it in 3 seconds or less, and exactly what to do with your spirit when you see it. Now that you understand the spiritual mechanics behind the stare, we must move from theory to application. You are no longer a confused victim, wondering why the world is looking at you. You are an awakened operator, standing in enemy territory. But knowing why they stare is not enough. You need to know exactly what to do when it happens. If you treat every stare the same way, you will burn out. You cannot fight the confused, and you cannot counsel the demonic. You need discernment. You need to be able to scan a room, lock eyes with a stranger, and within 3 seconds, diagnose exactly which spiritual algorithm is running behind their pupils. There are 3 distinct forms of the glitch. I call them the hiss, the moth, and the error. Each one carries a specific frequency. Each one demands a specific response. If you misdiagnose them, you will end up casting pearls before swine, or worse, you will end up opening a door to a spirit that wants to drain you dry. So, let us break down the field manual for the glitch. The first form is the most aggressive, and it is the one that causes you the most pain. I call this the hiss. This is the glitch of hate. You know this look. You have seen it in the grocery store aisle. You have seen it in the break room at work. You are minding your own business, perhaps looking at a shelf of cereal or typing an email, and you feel a piercing sensation on the side of your face. You look up and you lock eyes with someone who is looking at you with pure, unadulterated venom. Let us zoom into the micro details of this gaze so you can identify it without a doubt. The hiss is characterized by a narrowing of the eyes. It is sharp, it is focused. It is not a blank stare. It is an active transmission of hostility. You might see their lip curl slightly, a micro expression of disgust. You might see them look you up and down, scanning you from head to toe, as if they are looking for a flaw to attack. The energy coming off them feels cold, prickly, and violent. It feels like someone just spit on you spiritually. And here is the tragedy of the chosen one. Your default reaction to the hiss is to internalize it. You immediately shrink. Your mind starts racing through the audit of shame. You think, what did I do to them? Did I cut them off in traffic? Do I look stupid? Did I say something wrong? You assume that their anger is a reaction to your behavior. You assume that you are the problem. Stop that thought process immediately. The hiss has nothing to do with your personality. It has nothing to do with your outfit. It has nothing to do with your manners. The hiss is the reaction of a demonic entity in a low-ranking vessel encountering a high-ranking authority. It is the spirit of Cain looking at the spirit of Abel. Cain did not hate Abel because Abel was rude. Cain hated Abel because Abel's sacrifice was accepted, and his countenance carried the favor of God. The demon inside that stranger hates you because you remind it of its final judgment. You are a walking mirror of the heaven it was kicked out of. Your light burns its retina. Your peace agitates its chaos. When you see the hiss, you must understand that you are witnessing a spiritual tantrum. The entity is angry because it cannot touch you. It is limited to looking. It wants to destroy you, but because you are covered by the blood and sealed by the Spirit, it hits an invisible force field. So all it can do is hiss. All it can do is project hatred through the eyes of its host. So, how do you respond to the hiss? Most chosen ones respond with fear. They look down, they hurry away, they absorb the negative energy and carry it home, wondering why they feel so heavy. Do not do that anymore. When you respond with fear, you are agreeing with the demon's lie that you are weak. You are accepting the projection. Here is your new protocol for the hiss. It is a mental action I call the smirk of authority. I do not mean you should physically laugh at them or provoke a physical fight. Remember, the human vessel is unaware of what is happening. If you laugh at the person, you create a flesh and blood conflict. I am talking about an internal posture. When you lock eyes with the hiss, do not look away in fear. Hold the gaze for 1 second longer than is comfortable. In your spirit, I want you to stand up tall. In your mind, I want you to say to that entity, I see you, I know what you are, and you have no power here. Visualize a shield of gold light dropping between you and them. The hate they project hits the shield and bounces back. Then, give a very slight, almost imperceptible nod or a small, confident smile. Not a smile of friendship, a smile of knowing. This drives the enemy crazy. It signals to the spirit realm that you are not a victim, you are a warrior who knows their rank. Usually when you do this, the person will abruptly look away. The demon, realizing it has been spotted and that its intimidation tactic failed, will force the vessel to retreat. You have won the skirmish without saying a word. You stood your ground, you kept your peace, and you left the burden of the hate exactly where it belongs, with them. The second form of the glitch is dangerous, not because it is aggressive, but because it is seductive. I call this the moth. This is the glitch of longing. This happens when you encounter people who are broken, empty, and spiritually starving. You walk into a room and you feel eyes on you, but they do not feel sharp like the hiss. They feel sticky. They feel heavy with need. You look over and you see someone staring at you with wide, sad eyes. They look like a lost child. They look like a puppy in a cage at the shelter. There is a deep, sucking vacuum in their gaze. They are not looking at you with hate. They are looking at you with desperation. They sense your light, and like a moth in the darkness, they are drawn to the flame. They may not know why they are staring. They just know that when they look at you, they feel a little less cold. They feel a temporary relief from their own torment. Now, for a chosen one, the moth is the hardest trap to avoid. Why? Because you have the heart of a healer. You have the spirit of a shepherd. When you see pain, your instinct is to run toward it. You want to fix them. You want to save them. You see that longing in their eyes and you think, God is calling me to minister to this person. You smile at them. You start a conversation. You open your heart. But listen to me closely. Not every moth is sent by God. Many of these people are energy vampires. They are empty wells that can never be filled by a human. If you engage with every moth that stares at you, you will be drained dry within an hour. They will latch onto you. They will dump their trauma on you in the middle of the grocery store. They will talk to you for 40 minutes while your ice cream melts, telling you their entire life story. And when you finally pull away, you will feel exhausted, dizzy, and depleted, while they walk away feeling great because they just fed on your life force. You must learn to discern the difference between a divine appointment and a distraction. God will send people for you to help, yes, but He will not send them to drain you. The moth stare is often a sign of a parasitic spirit looking for a host. They want your oil because they are too lazy to buy their own. So how do you respond to the moth? You respond with the silent transfer. Do not engage verbally unless the Holy Spirit gives you a green light. Do not invite them into your space physically. Instead, maintain your boundaries. But because you are a child of God, you do not meet their need with coldness. You meet it with prayer. Here is the mental action. When you feel the moth stare, do not make eye contact and invite a conversation. Keep moving. But, as you pass them, in the privacy of your mind, I want you to fling a blessing over your shoulder. Imagine you are tossing a coin into their cup. Say, in your spirit, Lord, touch them. fill them. Break the chain off their life. I release the peace of God over their mind. That is it. You intercede, but you do not interact. You act as a conduit, not a container. You let God's power flow through you toward them, but you do not let them plug their cord into your battery. This keeps your compassion intact, but it protects your energy. You are giving them what they actually need, prayer, without giving them what they want, your attention and time. You satisfy the spiritual demand without bankrupting your own soul. The third form of the glitch is the most common and, frankly, the most bizarre. I call this the error. This is the glitch of confusion. You will see this when you walk past people who are operating entirely on autopilot. They are the sleepwalkers of the Matrix. They are thinking about their bills, their dinner, their stress. Their frequency is flatlining. Then you walk by. Your frequency is high. Your glory is loud. When you cross their path, their spiritual system crashes. It is like trying to run a high-definition video on a computer from 1995. The system freezes. You look at them, and they are just staring at you with a slack jaw. Their mouth might be slightly open. Their eyes are glazed over. They are not angry. The hiss. They are not sad. The moth. They are just blank. They are rebooting. Their spirit is trying to calculate what you are. Are you a threat? Are you a friend? What is that light? They stop walking. They stop talking. They just glitch. I have seen chosen ones get so uncomfortable with this stare that they wave at the person or ask, "Do I know you?" And the person usually snaps out of it, looks confused, and walks away quickly. The danger of the error is that it makes you feel self-conscious. You think you have something on your face. You think you look weird. You start checking your zipper. You start fixing your hair. You let their confusion become your insecurity. How do you respond to the error? You respond with the ghost walk. You do absolutely nothing. You do not wave. You do not smile. You do not check your clothes. You realize that you are simply a high-voltage line passing over a low-voltage house, and the lights flickered for a second. That is not your fault. It is not your responsibility to fix it. Here is the mental action. When you see the error, I want you to imagine you are walking through a hologram. The person staring is not fully there in that moment. They are buffering. Do not let their freeze cause you to freeze. Keep your rhythm. Keep your pace. Do not break your stride. In your mind, say, I am walking in my lane. I am covered by the glory. I am invisible to distraction. Treat it like static on a radio. You do not stop the car to fix the static. You just keep driving until the signal clears. Do not let the glitch slow you down. Do not let their confusion become your stumbling block. They will reboot in 30 seconds after you pass. Let them be. Now you have the framework. You have the hiss, the moth, and the error. You have the smirk of authority, the silent transfer, and the ghost walk. You are equipped. You are ready to go out into the world tomorrow and navigate the grocery store like a spiritual special forces operator. You know that the hate is jealousy, the longing is hunger, and the confusion is a system crash. You know that none of it is because you are ugly or weird. You know it is because you are a carrier of the heavy, weighty, radiant glory of God. But I have to be honest with you. We have covered the tactics, we have covered the theology, we have covered the psychology, but there is still one thing we haven't talked about. And it is the elephant in the room. It is the secret feeling you have right now as I am telling you all of this. You are listening to me, and you are nodding your head, and you are relieved to know you aren't crazy. But deep down, in the quietest corner of your heart, you are not celebrating. You are grieving. Because the truth is, a part of you hates this. A part of you does not want to be a spiritual special forces operator. A part of you does not want to carry a glory that makes people hate you, or need you, or freeze up around you. You just want to buy your milk in peace. You just want to be normal. You want to turn it off. I know that desire. I know the heaviness of the mantle. You look at other people laughing and blending in and having casual, easy lives, and you feel a pang of jealousy. You wonder, God, why did you pick me? Why can't I just be like them? Why does it have to be so hard to just exist? We need to talk about that shadow. We need to talk about the part of you that wants to return the gift. Because if we don't address that resentment, if we don't heal that rejection of your own identity, then all the tactics in the world won't save you. You will self-sabotage. You will try to dim your own light just to get a day off. And that is the most dangerous thing a chosen one can do. We have spent a lot of time today talking about strategies, tactics, and spiritual warfare. We have analyzed the demons in the grocery store and the energy vampires in the break room. But now, I need you to do something very difficult. I need you to lower your shield. I need you to take off the armor for just a moment. Because there is a conversation we need to have, and it is not a conversation about the enemy out there. It is a conversation about the enemy in here. It is about the secret war taking place in your own chest. I know who I am talking to. I know that on the surface, you are a warrior. You say, Amen, when I talk about power. You nod your head when I talk about authority. But I also know what happens when the video ends and the house is quiet. I know what you whisper to God when you are lying in bed at 3 a.m, staring at the ceiling, feeling the weight of the mantle pressing you into the mattress. You do not pray for more power. You do not pray for more encounters. In the safety of the dark, you whisper the prayer of Jonah. You say, Lord, I am tired. You say, Lord, why did it have to be me? You say, Lord, if this is a blessing, why does it feel like a curse? There is a deep, agonizing part of you that hates the glitch. You hate that you cannot walk into a room without changing the atmosphere. You hate that you cannot just go to a party and have a superficial conversation about football or the weather like everyone else. You look at the normal people around you, the people who are asleep, the people who are blissfully ignorant of the spiritual realm, and you feel a sharp pang of jealousy. You see them laughing, blending in, being invisible, and you think, I would give anything to have that life. I would give anything to just be a face in the crowd. I would give anything to turn this light off for just one day so I can rest. This is the Jonah syndrome. It is the overwhelming desire to run away from your own assignment. It is the instinct to buy a ticket to Tarshish, to go down into the hull of the ship, and to fall asleep, hoping that if you hide deep enough, God will forget about you and the demons will stop tracking you. You have tried to do this practically. I see you. I see how you dress. You wear the oversized hoodies. You put on the big headphones not because you are listening to music, but because you want to create a barrier between you and the world. You wear the sunglasses indoors. You walk quickly. You avoid eye contact. You have built an entire lifestyle around minimizing your footprint. You have become a master of camouflage. You tell yourself that you are just being humble. You tell yourself that you are just introverted. But that is not the truth. The truth is, you are trying to resign. You are trying to hand in your resignation letter to heaven because the cost of the oil is too high. And I want to take a moment right now to validate that pain. I want to tell you that you are not ungrateful for feeling this way. You are human. There is a romanticized version of being a chosen one that we see on the internet. It looks like confidence, power, and magic. But the reality of the mantle is heavy. Remember the word kavod. Glory is weight. To carry the glory of God is to carry a burden that sets you apart from the rest of the human race. The lighthouse is the most important structure on the coast, but the lighthouse is also the loneliest structure on the coast. It cannot huddle with the other houses in the village. It must stand apart, on the jagged rocks, battered by the waves, constantly working, constantly shining. It does not get to turn its light off just because it is tired. If it turns its light off, ships crash, people die. So yes, it is heavy. It is heavy to know things you cannot say. It is heavy to feel the spirits of strangers projecting their trauma onto you. It is heavy to be the one that everyone calls when they are in a crisis, but to have no one to call when you are bleeding. It is heavy to be the strong friend who is actually crumbling inside. I see that fatigue, and God sees it too. Elijah felt it when he sat under the broom tree and asked God to take his life. Jeremiah felt it when he said he would never speak the name of the Lord again. You are in good company. The desire to quit is proof that the assignment is real. If it were a fantasy, it would be easy. But here is the hard truth that I must deliver to you with love. You cannot quit, and more importantly, you cannot turn it off. You have spent years trying to dim your light, to make others comfortable, and to make yourself safe. But let me ask you a question. Has it worked? When you slump your shoulders, when you look at the floor, when you pretend to be less than who you are, does the warfare stop? Do the stairs stop? No, they don't. In fact, they get worse. And here is why. When you try to dim your light, you are acting against your own DNA. You were created to shine. It is not just your job. It is your biology. It is your spiritual composition. When a high-performance race car tries to drive at 10 miles per hour in a school zone, the engine overheats. It sputters. It chokes. It damages the machinery because it was built for speed, not for restraint. When you try to suppress your glory, you create a spiritual backlog in your system. That energy has to go somewhere. If you do not let it flow out, it turns inward. And when glory turns inward, it becomes toxic to the vessel. This is why so many chosen ones struggle with unexplainable depression, chronic fatigue, autoimmune issues, and anxiety. You are not sick, you are congested. You are a nuclear reactor trying to function as a AA battery. The containment of your power is actually killing you faster than the release of your power ever would. The stares you receive when you are hiding are actually more aggressive than the stares you receive when you are shining. Why? Because when you hide, you look like prey. When you slump, when you avoid eye contact, you signal to the spirit realm that you are ashamed of your authority. You signal that you do not know who you are. And demons love a powerful vessel that does not know its own combination code. They look at you, and they see the light, but they also see the fear, and that mixture is like blood in the water. They attack you more because they sense your hesitation. You cannot go back to Egypt. You cannot go back to being a normal person. You have seen too much. You have felt too much. You have been marked by the hand of God, and that mark is indelible. You can run to Tarshish, but the storm will follow you. You can be swallowed by the whale, but it will vomit you out. You can hide in the cave, but the wind and the fire will find you. The normalcy you are craving is a mirage. It does not exist for you anymore. And the sooner you grieve the loss of that normal life, the sooner you can step into the power of your real life. So here we are. We are standing at the crossroads of your destiny. Option A is to keep doing what you are doing. Keep hiding. Keep shrinking. Keep apologizing for your existence. Keep getting sick from the suppressed energy. Keep being a victim of the glitch, battered by every stare and every whisper. Or we can choose option B. Since you cannot turn the light off, since you cannot resign, since you cannot be invisible, you might as well control the room. Since they are going to stare anyway, You might as well give them something to look at that glorifies God and terrorizes darkness. Since you are stuck with this power, you might as well master it. The only way out of the pain of the glitch is to go through it. The only cure for the burden of the mantle is to wear it correctly. A heavy backpack hurts your back if you carry it on one shoulder, slumping over. But if you strap it on tight, stand up straight, and engage your core, the weight becomes manageable. It becomes part of your center of gravity. You have to stop apologizing for the glitch. You have to stop treating it like a defect and start treating it like a weapon. You need to shift your internal narrative from, "I hope they don't look at me," to, "Let them look, and let them see the King." You need to move from the posture of a fugitive to the posture of a monarch. This brings us to the final and most practical step of our journey today. We are going to fix your walk. We are going to fix the way you hold your head. We are going to install a new operating system for your physical body that aligns with your spiritual rank. It is called the Royal Posture Protocol. It is the physical manifestation of the mental shift we just made. It is how you take owning it from a concept in your head to a reality in your muscles. You need to activate this immediately before you walk out your door tomorrow. The time for theory is over. We are now entering the operating room of your reality. We are going to perform surgery on the way you carry yourself. Because the truth is, you can memorize every scripture in the Bible, you can understand the theology of the glitch, and you can rebuke every demon in your zip code, but if you walk into a room with the posture of a slave, you will be treated like a slave. The spirit realm reacts to your emanations, and your physical body is the antenna that broadcasts your frequency. If the antenna is bent, the signal is distorted. I want to tell you about a chosen one named David. Again, that is not his real name, but his transformation is real. David worked in a high-pressure corporate environment. He was brilliant, anointed, and strategically gifted. But David had a habit. He had what I call the apology hunch. Whenever he walked into a meeting room, he would subconsciously round his shoulders forward, tuck his chin toward his chest, and make himself physically smaller. He would slip into the chair furthest from the head of the table. When he spoke, he would clear his throat first, as if asking permission to exist. The result? The glitch hit him hard. But it hit him in the form of the error. People ignored him, they talked over him, they stole his ideas and presented them as their own. David came to me and said, "I am praying for favor, but I am invisible." I told him, "David, you are not invisible. You are broadcasting a signal that says, 'Do not respect me,' and the spirits around you are simply obeying your command." We did not change his job. We did not change his wardrobe. We changed his kavod placement. We adjusted his physical chassis to carry the weight of his glory. The next week, David walked into that same boardroom. But he walked in using the protocol I am about to teach you. He did not slam the door. He did not yell. He simply walked in with his chin parallel to the floor. He moved at a slower tempo. He took the seat at the center of the table. He did not hunch. He exposed his chest. And when the meeting started, the room fell silent. The CEO, who usually interrupted him, stopped and asked, "David, what do you think?" The shift was instantaneous. The demons that had been dismissing him suddenly recognized his rank. He hadn't spoken a word, but his posture screamed authority. "Now, it is your turn. We are going to install the Royal Posture Protocol into your system. This is not about arrogance. Arrogance is loud. Authority is quiet. Arrogance is insecurity trying to look big. Authority is the calm assurance that you are backed by the armies of heaven. If you are in a place where you can adjust your body safely, do it with me. If you are driving or lying down, I want you to visualize these micro adjustments in your mind's eye. You must build the neural pathway mentally so that your body can follow physically. The first component of the protocol is the horizon chin. I want you to notice where your chin is right now. For most chosen ones, the default position of the chin is slightly tucked down. We do this to protect the throat, which is the center of vulnerability. It is a primal, instinctual movement of a creature that fears attack. It is the posture of a servant waiting for orders. When you tuck your chin, you are signaling to the spirit realm, I am submissive, I am waiting, I am afraid. To correct this, imagine there is a string attached to the crown of your head, pulling you upward toward heaven. Feel your vertebrae stacking one on top of the other. Now, lift your chin until it is perfectly parallel with the floor. You are looking at the horizon. You are not looking down at the dirt where the serpent crawls. You are not looking up in fake pride. You are looking straight ahead, eye level with destiny. This simple movement does something profound to your psychology. It exposes your throat. It tells your nervous system, I am safe. I am not afraid of attack. I trust my shield. When you walk into the grocery store tomorrow, I want you to check your horizon. If you find yourself looking at your shoes, correct it. Your shoes are not your destination. The second component is the ocular lock. This deals with your eyes. When a chosen one is under the pressure of the glitch, their eyes tend to dart. You look left, you look right, you look down, you check your phone. You are scanning for threats. In the animal kingdom, this is prey behavior. A gazelle darts its eyes because it is looking for the lion. The lion does not dart its eyes. The lion moves its eyes slowly. The lion focuses. When you enter a room and you feel the stares, your instinct will be to dart your eyes away to break the tension. Do not do it. Engage the ocular lock. This means you soften your gaze. You do not stare aggressively, but you do not look away nervously. You pick a point of focus. It could be the door you are walking toward or the person you are speaking to, and you hold that focus with a relaxed intensity. If someone stares at you with the hiss, you do not dart away. You slowly slide your gaze across them, acknowledging their presence without absorbing their energy, and then you return to your path. This signals stability. It signals that you are not easily moved. A king does not flinch when a peasant shouts. A king continues his procession. The third component is the spirit decree. This is the internal audio track that runs while you are walking. Posture is not just about muscles. It is about the thought that holds the muscle in place. If you stand tall but your mind is screaming, I hope they like me, your body will eventually collapse back into a hunch. You need a structural beam of truth to hold you up. As you walk, I want you to replace the audit of shame with the decree of sonship. In rhythm with your steps, I want you to say in your spirit, I am sent, I am sealed, I am backed. Left foot, I am sent. Right foot, I am sealed. Left foot, I am backed. Create a cadence of authority in your mind. When you project this thought, it changes the micro-expressions on your face. It relaxes the tension in your jaw. It replaces the please don't hurt me signal with the I am here on business signal. The entities in the room pick up on this broadcast. They hear the decree before they hear your voice. Now, I must issue a severe warning. This is not just about self-help or looking confident. This is a matter of spiritual logistics. You have angels assigned to your life. Scripture says they are ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. But angels operate on a chain of command. They respond to authority. They respond to alignment. When you slouch, when you hide, when you act like a fugitive, you confuse your angelic detail. Imagine a general on a battlefield who takes off his uniform, puts on the clothes of a prisoner, and hides in a ditch. His soldiers are waiting for a command. They are ready to fight, but they cannot find their general. They see someone hiding in the ditch, but they are looking for the one who stands and commands. When you shrink back from the glitch, you are essentially handcuffing your assistants. You are creating spiritual dissonance. Your spirit is crying out for victory, but your body is signaling defeat. The angels are waiting for you to stand up. They are waiting for you to look like the heir that you are. When you engage the royal posture, when you lift your chin and lock your eyes, you are putting your uniform back on. You are making yourself visible to your allies. You are saying, "I am ready to lead." And when you do that, the atmosphere shifts not just because of your psychological confidence, but because you have just authorized heaven to back you up. You have aligned your earthen vessel with your heavenly ranking. We have covered the diagnosis. We have flipped the script. We have studied the science of the Moses effect. We have identified the enemy's tactics. We have healed the inner child that wants to quit. And now, we have corrected your physical stance. The preparation is complete. The vessel is ready. The oil is ready. The heavy atmosphere of heaven is waiting to descend. You have the knowledge. You have the walk. Now, we need to seal it in the spirit realm. We need to lock this transformation in so that when you wake up tomorrow, you do not revert to the old version of yourself. We need to make this permanent. I need you to do something for me right now. I need you to shift your position. If you are sitting, stand up. If you are lying down, rise. If you cannot stand, sit up as straight as a rod. The coronation ceremony begins now. The teaching phase is over. The activation phase begins now. I call your spirit to attention. If you are in a place where you can stand, I want you to stand up on your feet right now. Do not hesitate. This is a physical act of spiritual alignment. If you cannot stand, I want you to sit up, as straight as a rod, feet flat on the floor, hands uncrossed. Place your right hand over your heart. We are about to go before the courts of heaven to legally ratify what you have learned today. We are going to close the door on the victim mindset forever. In the mighty and matchless name of Yeshua, I declare that the portals of understanding are now open over you. I acknowledge the presence of the host of heaven in this space. Father, you see your servant standing before you. You see the years of confusion. You see the tears they shed in bathroom stalls, wondering why they were rejected. You see the pain of the isolation. You see the heavy burden of being a lighthouse in a dark world. Lord, we do not hide from the pain today. We honor it as the cost of the oil. But we declare that the season of confusion is over. I hereby seal the revelation of the glory glitch protocol into your spirit. I seal the knowledge of the Moses effect into your mind. You will no longer walk in ignorance. I bind the spirit of rejection that has tormented you for years. I bind the spirit of social anxiety that has tried to silence you. I break the agreement you made with the spirit of invisibility. You are not invisible. You are a city set on a hill, and you cannot be hidden. I seal the royal posture protocol into your physical body. I command your spine to align with your spiritual rank. I command your chin to lift to the horizon. I command your eyes to lock with the authority of the Lion of Judah. I break the slave tilt off your neck. I break the prey darting off your eyes. From this moment forward, you will walk as a son and daughter of the Most High God. I declare that when you walk out of your door tomorrow, the atmosphere will shift. I decree that the hiss of the enemy will be silenced by your peace. I decree that the moth will be blessed by your prayer, but will not drain your energy. I decree that the error will not cause you to stumble. You will discern the spirits in seconds. You will navigate the public square with the precision of a special forces operator. I speak a prophetic covering over the next 7 days. Within 7 days you will see an undeniable shift in how the world responds to you. Where there was disrespect, there will be reverence. Where there was hostility, there will be silence. The demons that used to mock you will now recognize the seal of God upon your forehead, and they will back down. I declare that your face will shine with a fresh oil, a fresh kavod, that will attract the resources, the connections, and the favor that you have been praying for. The stare is no longer a weapon formed against you. It is the evidence of God's glory upon you. Chosen one, listen to me. The mantle is heavy, but your back is strong. The cost is high, but the reward is eternal. You were not chosen because you are weak. You were chosen because God trusted you with his signature. I have one question for you before I release you. Will you carry this? Will you stop hiding? Will you accept the weight of the crown? If your answer is yes, I want you to say yes out loud right now. Say it with your chest. Say it to the atmosphere. Heaven has recorded your answer. The contract is signed. The upgrade is live. You are dismissed from the wilderness. Go and reign. Amen.